With the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, the world looks on as a new era of the monarchy starts with her eldest son, King Charles III, leading the royal family. On the 8th of September, Queen Elizabeth II, who ruled the United Kingdom for 70 years, passed away at Balmoral at the age of 96. After worries about her health grew early on Thursday, her family gathered by her side at her Scottish estate. The Queen saw significant social change after ascending the throne in 1952. On the 10th of September, her eldest son Charles, the former Prince of Wales, took the throne as the new king and ruler of 14 Commonwealth states, leading the nation in grief and following 10 days of national mourning. The Queen has been a beloved monarch for the last 70 years, and the mourning of her passing away is widespread. At the young age of 25, Elizabeth Alexandra Mary became Queen Elizabeth II, heading the United Kingdom and other 32 sovereign states. The Queen was known for ruling with compassion and continued performing her duties up until 2 days prior to her passing away. In a break from convention, the Queen appointed Liz Truss to succeed Boris Johnson as Prime Minister at Balmoral Castle, where she was on vacation on September 6th, 2 days before she passed away. This was typically done at Buckingham Palace. Now, there has been much speculation in what King Charles III inherits with the passing away of his mama, as he referred to his queen. Along with the great responsibilities that come with becoming king, Charles has also inherited great wealth. Queen Elizabeth II was amongst the richest people in the world, owning valuable properties like Buckingham Palace in the heart of London and vast tracts of farmland in Scotland. But unlike other wealthy people, when he was Prince Charles, our king had virtually very little opportunity to sell or benefit from his mother's possessions. So, let's get into it. More than just a crown was left to the newly crowned King Charles III by his mother, Queen Elizabeth II. There are limitations on how most of this riches will be managed and what will be kept by the king. But Charles has inherited a sizable portfolio of assets that range from real estate to jewels. Elizabeth II was one of the richest people in the world, owning a variety of prestigious properties, jewels and artworks. Brand Finance estimated the value of the British monarchy's brand at $78 billion in 2017. Ooh, we're sure that beats Kim Kardashian's brand value. The Royal Estate. The Crown Estate is a royal company that manages the powers of ownership over properties that are then transferred to whatever monarch is in power. This will now be transferred to King Charles III, who will now oversee the Queen's major real estate holdings. According to the Financial Times, the Crown Estate's real estate holdings, which include substantial portions of central London's Regent Street and St James's, as well as shopping centres and rural areas outside of the city, are worth $15.6 billion. Additionally, its portfolio includes seabed up to 12 miles off the British coast. The Treasury receives the excess income from these properties and distributes it to the King in the form of a sovereign grant, which is a set annual payment. This grant's percentage was raised from 15% to 25% in 2016, totaling £396 million at the time, which is the most this grant has been raised by in its history. In contrast to a typical family fortune, such properties are transferred straight to King Charles III in a sovereign-to-sovereign transition, rather than being divided up in a will. Over the years, there have been concerns around the royal family's spending habits, while senior royal members, like both Queen Elizabeth and King Charles, haven't had much screen time in the media in regards to their spending habits. But we do know of a certain ex-royal family member who was notoriously all over the tabloids for her luxurious, or some may call it frivolous, spending habits. Yes, we are talking about that lavish $500,000 baby shower held at Tiffany's, New York. But hey, we ain't mentioning any names on who this was. Forbes calculated that Queen Elizabeth's personal wealth was $500 million. This wealth is connected to works of art, jewellery, investments, and castles like Scotland's Balmoral Castle and England's Sandringham House. These assets are worth $500 million altogether. The majority of this individual riches will be inherited by King Charles III. The Duchy of Lancaster, an 18,248 hectare private estate that's belonged to the reigning monarch since 1399 and has a net value estimated at £653 million, will be a direct source of revenue for the king. As Duchy of Cornwall is passed to the heir, Prince William will take over control of the private estate, which is estimated to be worth £1.05 billion and was formerly owned by King Charles III. Along with great riches also come great taxes. So, will King Charles III pay taxes? King Charles III has several advantages, one of which he is exempt from the estate tax, a staggering 40% wealth tax imposed by British law on inheritance. The royal family website states that constitutional monarchies include the British monarchy. This indicates that, even though the sovereign is head of state, it is up to an elected parliament to draft and adopt laws. The sovereign continues to play a significant role in the country's existence, even if they no longer hold political or executive positions. Operation Unicorn, often known as the time between Queen Elizabeth passing, her funeral at Westminster Abbey, and following Charles's coronation, is already underway as the British economy also comes to a grinding halt. But there is the issue of inheritance in addition to the complete transfer from a monarch who has governed for 7 decades. Queen Elizabeth II also leaves behind a sizable personal art and jewellery collection, aside from the real estate. Out of the Queen's extensive jewellery collection, the most expensive is the Koh-i-Noor diamond, part of the crown jewels, which is supposedly valued between 140 to 400 million euros. The majority of the crown jewels were acquired during Queen Victoria's reign and the British Empire's expansion, and the Koh-i-Noor diamond has recently come under increased pressure to be returned to its original owners in India. The crown jewels are held for use by the sovereign in power and do not belong to any one person. Rather, they are part of the monarchy. Elizabeth was an avid art collector, just like the rest of the British royal family. The Royal Collection Trust, owned by the British royal family, is the greatest private art collection in the world. The collection, which numbers over 1 million items, is dispersed throughout more than a dozen royal houses, some of which are accessible to the general public. The collection's market value is an astounding £10 billion, without even accounting for the fact that given who its owners are, it will likely be priceless. The Queen was worth an estimated $500 million thanks to a variety of factors, including an inheritance from her father, King George VI, a yearly salary from a taxpayer fund known as the Sovereign Grant, and investments that have grown in value over many generations. The vast majority of the royal family's $30 billion or more wealth is divided among various homes and holdings. Well, let's see what the next era of the British royal family entails, as we bid farewell our beloved Queen. We hope you've learned a thing or two about King Charles III net worth. Thanks for watching.